Great. Good morning again. So just for those who have just joined us, just to introduce myself again, my name is Stella Opoku-Owusu. I'm the Deputy Director at Ford, and I'll be your moderator for today. So as people are still entering, I'm just going to go through the program for today and also to talk about the virtual scoping mission itself. So this program today will showcase business and investment opportunities in Nigeria, in particular in the agriculture, technology, and renewable energy sector, and also with a focus on Dutch and Italian companies in the sector. In addition, the mission will highlight the potential of tapping into Nigeria's talent pool to increase businesses' local presence, expertise, and or to diversify their current workforce. This mission is also organized by the International Organization for Migration, IOM, the Netherlands African Business Council, NABC, and Unioncamere Piemonte. This virtual scoping mission is also brought to you by Match Hiring African Talents. This is a 3-year pilot project which is funded by the European Commission. The project facilitates the circular mobility of highly skilled talent from Nigeria and Senegal to fill the labor shortages in 4 EU member states, and it's Belgium, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. It's demand driven by employers who struggle to fill their vacancies within the European labor pools, especially with a focus on the bottleneck vacancies in the tech and ICT sector. One of the great benefits of the project is that it's an easy way for European companies to meet highly skilled African talent and contributing to a more diverse workforce, and also increasing their knowledge and presence in Africa. If you would like a bit more information or you have questions on the Match project, please do visit the exhibitor area and approach the colleagues from IOM as well. Okay. So now I have some housekeeping for everyone, and this will focus on the program today, as well as utilizing the event platform and Zoom. So for today, we have over 30 international sector speakers, and you can learn more about the Nigerian business climate by joining the Introduction to Doing Business in Nigeria session, which is this morning. Or you can get into specifics during one of the 3 sector-specific sessions on the key focus themes of agriculture, technology, and renewable energy. All the sessions today can be navigated through the event platform, and as audience members, you can also use the platform to join the live sessions, to network, and to meet other attendees and speakers, and to learn more about the Match project as well. You can also share your experiences and thoughts of the mission sessions through the social wall. So we would like to know if you met anyone interesting, if you learned anything new, if you have a fun selfie to share. I suppose as we're doing everything virtually, that might be quite interesting and sociable within the space as well. And we would like to hear all about it. Do make sure to visit the exhibition area. The program today will run until 4 p.m. CET or GMT +1, and the program is available for viewing on the platform. All the sessions are accessed through the platform, but are hosted in Zoom, and microphones and cameras are switched off, apart from the speakers, of course. Please use the chat function to introduce yourself, and use the Q&A to ask questions to the moderator and speakers. And of course, if you wish to speak bilaterally with someone or to learn more about the speakers again, you can do this on the platform via the attendee tab. And here also, you can look for other attendees or speakers and schedule private meetings. And if you have any technical issues, do let us know in the chat and someone will assist you. The other point to make is that all the sessions will also be recorded today. The session today is also translated into Italian. If you look at the bottom of your screen, You will see a globe which has interpretation at the bottom of it, and you can toggle between English and Italian. And finally, we very much encourage you to provide feedback on the sessions and the virtual mission itself by using the feedback tab on your left. I suppose it's on the left of your screen, but if that's incorrect, I will get the message and I will let you know. So I think that's all the housekeeping out of the way. So we will now head into the opening session itself. So at this point, I would like to welcome all our speakers, and just to let everyone know, this is the opening session, and we have 5 speakers, 5 very distinguished speakers, I have to say. Our first 3 will speak for 10 minutes each. And at the end of their speeches, we will also have a couple of messages as well, which are on video. There is no Q&A for this session, but there will be plenty of time during the day today to engage with people and to ask all the questions that you'd like to. So to start, I will introduce very briefly, before I welcome them to take the floor, I will introduce our first 3 speakers. And also just to say that if you'd like to find out a bit more about them, you will find information about them in the attendee tab as well. So our first speaker is the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in The Hague. And she is Her Excellency Miss Dr. Eniola Olaitan Ajayi. And she will be followed by Dr. Michel Dielan, who is the Consul General of the Consulate General of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in Lagos. And he will be followed by Councillor Roberto Mengoni, who is the Coordinator for Regular Migration and International Mobility at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Italy. So welcome to all our speakers this morning. And without further ado, I will pass on the mic virtually to Her Excellency Miss Dr. Eniola Olaitan Ajayi. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Mr. Michael Dielan, the Consulate General of the Kingdom of Netherlands in Lagos. Mr. Roberto Mengoni, the Coordinator for Regular Migration and International Mobility at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Italy. Ms. Stella Opoku Owusu, Deputy Director, Afford UK, and our distinguished moderator for today. And of course, ladies and gentlemen on this meeting. Let me at the outset appreciate the gesture of the invitation extended to the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to participate in this program. I must as well register my personal appreciation for the opportunity to deliver the opening remarks. On behalf of the government and the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I commend the European Union for initiating the MARCH project and for providing funding for thereto onto the EU Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund and the Mainstreaming Migration into International Cooperation and Development Program. In addition, I thank all the implementation partners, including the International Organization for Migration, Unioncamere Piemonte, and the Netherlands African Business Council, NABC, for convening this virtual SCOMI mission. Without mincing words, the overarching objective of the MARCH project, which is to connect and match highly skilled African talents, especially those from Nigeria and Senegal, with the specific needs of the EU labor market shortages, is quite laudable. This explains why Nigeria applauded the initiative at inception and has sustained overt support for it in spite of implementation rollout disruption by COVID-19. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited that this platform provides the added value of getting more Dutch and EU investors informed about business and investment opportunities in Nigeria. The mission is sustained Our mission has sustained crusade and advocacy in this regard. It informed the inaugural trade and investment meeting held in November 2021. In the current year, we are partnering with Netherlands Africa Business Council, Invest Africa, the Chamber of Commerce, and other players in the Dutch and investment domain to engender more result-oriented activities at the tripartite levels of government to government, business to business, and citizens to citizens. Indeed, mission is already in liaison with relevant subnational authorities in Nigeria in a bid to ensure earliest realization of this ambition. At this juncture, I wish to reassure IOM and all the implementation stakeholders of the mission support, including linkages with relevant institutions and bodies in Nigeria, to ensure that we mutually derive maximum benefits from this initiative. Moreover, coming on the heels of President Buhari's commitment to bringing 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years through job creation, social investment, and empowerment programs, the MAD project could be a complementary vehicle to Nigeria's robust efforts in youth employment and empowerment. Inevitably, many Nigerian youths with globally relevant skill sets and academic qualifications will emerge as ultimate beneficiaries of this project. Unequivocally, Nigeria is blessed with abundant brain power in all areas of human endeavor. Given the opportunity, they can contribute meaningfully to the realization of the MARCH project. Three notable examples of Nigeria's intellectual capital subscription to the rest of the world within the global multilateral systems attest to my assertion. There's Ms. Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, and there's also Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the Director General of WTO, and there's as well Ms. Ugochi Daniels, the Deputy Director General Operations of the International Organization for Migration. According to Ms. Ugochi Daniels, migration is a powerful driver of sustainable development in countries of origin, transit, destination, and return. Migrants are at the forefront of the fight against COVID-19 pandemic, channeling remittances and providing skills, experiences, and innovative perspectives to strengthen communities and economies. The foregoing insight by the IOM Deputy Director General Operations clearly underscores how the MARCH project, in partnership with Nigeria, can assuage fundamental skill gaps on the European continent. It is therefore my earnest expectation that quite a number of potential beneficiaries of the MARCH project will eventually emerge from Nigeria after this scoping mission. Concerning trade and investment opportunities, I dare say the land is green. Nigeria possesses enormous investment potentials backed by government policies. Thus, Nigeria is ready for more Dutch and EU investments, in addition to the existing and thriving ones such as Heineken, Friesland Campina, Royal Dutch Shell, Unilever, KLM, DAF Trucks, Philips, TNT, and so on. The opportunity spectrum encompasses renewable energy, water management, agricultural value chain, including greenhouses and open cultivation, livestock and ranching, fintech, green and circular economy, public-private partnerships, as well as brownfield investment. Accordingly, I urge Dutch investors and their Benelux counterparts and other Europe-based aspiring business owners in Africa to take position in the aforementioned sectors in Nigeria. Nigeria still remains the top destination for business in Africa, according to our GDP. Ladies and gentlemen, the mission has repositioned our trade and investment desk for enhanced delivery and sustained engagement with stakeholders. Similarly, mission now has a policy and project advocacy section under the trade and investment desk to facilitate real-time trade, inquiries, and advisory services. We are also in touch with the Dutch business community in Nigeria. Going forward, it is my hope that travel restrictions will ease off later in 2022 for physical two-way trade missions. Meantime, the website of the mission provides necessary information on business registration in Nigeria and related matters. Perhaps a fundamental success factor to the MAC project is the need for the Dutch authorities to review the current policy on long-stay visa requirements as it affects Nigerians, especially in terms of outsourcing to third countries and trips to neighboring countries. The development will facilitate seamless operationalization, not only of bilateral trade relations and labor mobility, but also of such development assistance initiatives as the MATCH project. On a final note, let me again wish IOM and partners, as well as all participants, a very successful scoping mission to Nigeria. May I also request on behalf of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that the MAC project will be extended beyond its initial life cycle of 2022 for the purpose of reasonable impact attainment. The mission is ever ready to collaborate and assist appropriately in this regard. In closing, please allow me to recall the words of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, on the tremendous human capital potential available in Nigeria. There is genius for achievement in every corner of our country. Attention to their needs and interests will renew a pantheon of world-beating achievers in every generation and enable us continually rediscover the human capital for perpetual national growth. I thank you all for your attention. Good morning.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for your opening remarks and very warm words as well. Much appreciated. I will move on now very quickly to Mr. Michel Dillon.
Yes, good morning. Good morning from Lagos. Welcome everybody, and of course a special welcome to Her Excellency, the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in The Hague, and our colleagues in Italy, and all the businesses online. For the rest, I'd like to stand on existing protocol. I'm very honored to participate in this scoping mission, or this virtual trade mission, for several reasons. One is the reason that we are in a position now to show Nigeria to people, to businessmen and women who maybe have not been here before. And for some reason, Nigeria still remains a question mark for many people, or an unknown entity, even though the biggest economy on the African continent. And the second reason why I feel honored to participate is because of the MATCH program. And as Her Excellency also mentioned, this is a program focused on the positive side of migration, on circular migration, on the realization that in Europe we really need a labor force that we don't have at the moment. And that is available in countries like Nigeria, and Senegal also participates in this program. When talking about migration from Africa, I think many people have these ideas of the boats across the Mediterranean, and that might be true, but that is just a small part of it. The biggest migration does not happen across the Mediterranean on boats. It's people, the diaspora, who travels, who send back remittances, who contribute in a very positive way, not only to, let's say, the new country where they are establishing, but also to the country where they come from, in this case, Nigeria. So I think it's good to point that out, that I hope that we have made that step towards looking at a much more positive way of migration. And I would also support Her Excellency's plea to extend this program, because indeed, because of COVID, and you know, that has blocked events. Yet the advantage now is that we have 200 people, which normally on a regular trade mission we would not have. So a wider audience for us to explain how it is to do business in Nigeria, what Nigeria is, what the opportunities are, and also, to be very honest, also what the challenges are. Let me just give you a small anecdote. Like some years ago, I went to the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs for a meeting, and I was jokingly saying to my colleague, well, I come from the biggest economy in Africa. And my colleague was saying, oh, I thought you were working in Nigeria. I didn't know you were working in South Africa. And that just shows you that people haven't realized that in the meantime, Nigeria's economy has surpassed South Africa's economy by GDP. Another thing people often think is, but Nigeria's economy is fully dependent on the price of oil. And if oil goes down, the economy goes down. And if oil goes up, the economy goes up. Yeah, partly that's true in relation. Oil is an important part of the government's revenue. But if you look at the government in Nigeria as part of the entire economy, it's not that big. And as part of the entire economy, oil is about 15% of GDP. So yes, it's an important driver because it's a source of revenue, the oil revenues that can be used in very positive ways. But I would not describe Nigeria as an oil economy because there are many other sectors that are thriving on their own. Obviously, what we discussed today, agribusiness and tech are two of those sectors. But also, let's not forget the creative industries, Nollywood, the film industry, the music industry, fashion. These are all sectors that have a right of their own without being dependent on the oil industry. So the Nigerian economy, to that extent, is quite diversified. Yet there is this paradox. If you Google Nigeria, you will probably find Boko Haram, insecurity, and some years ago, some people calculated that Nigeria now has the biggest population of poor people. Yet in that very same Nigeria, there are highly educated people. There is a tech hub in Nigeria. There are startups. There is fintech. There is development. So there is a contradiction inside the country that sometimes scares away business people and investors when they say, it must be dangerous, or the people are poor, or I can't sell my product there because there's no market. Yes and no. If you look at the entire population of Nigeria, there's probably 30 million Nigerians who belong to the middle class. And investment is exactly needed to lift those people who do not belong to the middle class out of poverty. And of those people who are in poverty, a lot of them are actually in the countryside or in agriculture. Maybe not voluntarily in agriculture, but by default. So if we talk today about agribusiness, yes, agribusiness is a way of basically increasing also the food production in Nigeria so that the country will become less dependent on imports. But it's also a way to generate jobs that are very much needed in the country, and to make sure that you lift up those people who are not yet part of the economic development in the country. So indeed, the stories you hear, the stories you find in the news, yes, nobody will deny it. Insecurity or poverty or banditry, but not everywhere and not every day. And this is also of high priority to the Nigerian government. So these are also issues that the government is tackling. Coming back to the Netherlands in relation to Nigeria, We are the fourth biggest trading partner of Nigeria, and we as a consulate or as an embassy focus a lot on agriculture already since, well, I would say since 5-6 years. Agriculture, mostly horticulture, is a spear point of our policy, and that also relates to supporting farmers to increase their yields. The population of Nigeria is fast growing, and the urban population of Nigeria is growing even faster. And the urban population indeed obviously needs food, and that food needs to come from somewhere. Production needs to go up, logistics, anyway, agribusiness as we know it. Another sector in which we are quite active is circular economy. And circular economy also in relation, for example, to renewable energy, as we are discussing now. And I think the third sector mentioned also today is the tech sector. And the tech sector is specific of interest because a lot of young people are active in it. And you know, youth employment, as I mentioned, is a critical issue, not just in Nigeria, but in many countries on the young continent of Africa. If 70% of your population is young, then I would say youth employment is your number one focus. And you see there that in the ICT, there are lots of young talents. I saw in the brochure that some of them are mentioned there with their names and their backgrounds, but there are many, many more. The embassy also supports different coding schools and different startups in these sectors. And of course, they are interlinked. You can have a startup in fintech focusing on the agricultural sector. And these are things, new things that you see happening in Nigeria that are interesting, fascinating, and that will in the end also push that development. So let me just end by saying that we want to use today and this opportunity, later on the day, my colleague Ari Plieger will also explain that, to show Nigeria to the audience and to show what the opportunities are. And I hope that by the end of the day, you will have realized that this is a country with much more opportunities than you probably originally thought. And that this is a country that you might want to come and visit for yourself. So this is step one. The next step will be that we, together with the Italian colleagues, we will welcome you very much to Lagos, to Nigeria, to come and see for yourself the huge opportunities that are here. Yes, it's not always easy, but as I said, the market is huge, the demand is huge, and the people are very, very eager to work with you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dillon, thank you very much for those words, and also really, I think, for highlighting the economic realities on the ground and the potential, as you said, which is often overshadowed by the negatives. Thanks very much for that. And at this point, we will pass on straight away to Councillor Roberto Mengoni from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Italy.
Thank you, Stella. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Perfectly.
Thank you. Okay, good morning to everybody. Of course, starting with Your Excellencies, Dr. Eniola Olaitan Anjay, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to the Netherlands, to Miguel Delen, the Consul General of the Netherlands in Nigeria, and to all these distinguished guests, businessmen and businesswomen from Nigeria, the Netherlands, and Italy. Good morning to everybody, and I hope that this day will be very fruitful for everybody. I saw from the chat that already there are messages passing between people, so already there is an action behind us. I'm very honored to be here, albeit virtually. It is, of course, one of the privilege of this situation that we can meet without moving, but at the same time, of course, seeing for yourself the reality is another thing. So I wish I could be there, and I wish I could visit one day Nigeria. I spent 4 years and a half in Tanzania as ambassador there, and I would say that I left my heart there. So Africa is still very present in me. I think that the perspective that I would like to share here with you is about the opportunities that the regular migration, especially the circular migration, can offer to everybody, and what the project by the International Organization for Migration can give us. I think that the Match project is a very interesting idea that, as the word says, the title says, is trying to match the job demand with the job offer for skilled, talented, and qualified Nigerian and Senegalese men and women. We know very well that also in Italy, there is a very huge scarcity of qualified workforce in several sectors, from, of course, the low-skilled, but also the high-skilled sectors, technology, energy, as we are talking today. And there is a need, and this need will increase in the next year. Of course, when we're talking about migration, as also Michael said before, the first scene that comes to mind is about boats coming from Libya and Tunisia to the Southern Europe shores. But this is not, of course, what we are discussing here. And we are also trying to give a more positive idea about what the regular mobility, regular migration, and circular migration can offer to both continents, to Europe and to Africa. I think that this idea of creating a legal, regular, and safe channel of mobility between countries can solve, or at least address, several issues at once. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is to offer people an alternative channel to dangerous and potentially fatal travel across Sahara and the Mediterranean Sea. To find, of course, talented people to fill the many gaps in the labor force, especially in Italy. But also, and this is also probably the most important things, to create opportunities for young people from countries like Nigeria or Senegal to get experience, to bring their experience, their skills, their competencies to Europe, and to bring them back to Africa in order to create a circular and two-way mechanism of exchanging knowledge, exchanging competencies and skills, so that each country in our continents can benefit from this movement of people. Otherwise, it will become just a one-way transfer of people from one side to the other, and this will also deprive countries like Nigeria of the people they need for their development. So we need to find the right formula, the right way. And of course, the management of circular migration is key. Managing migration means creating mechanism that starts from the countries of origin of people to our countries and back to, of course, to the countries of origin. Professional courses, accompanying them towards Italy and the Netherlands, close and careful organization, and also, of course, also the involvement of the private sector. And I also like to salute the business people from Italy and the Netherlands and Nigeria who are here and present, interested in this aspect. Of course, we also can involve the diaspora in this kind of activities, because, of course, especially the Nigerian and the Senegalese diaspora in Italy are quite big, are one of the biggest community in Italy, and quite integrated and quite organized in terms also of association and people who can welcome new arrivals. And of course, also we need to manage expectations, because regular migration is a project that are starting to take off in Europe in many things. But of course, it's still something that it needs to be planned, needs to be organized, and needs to be put in place in the next years. I will also like to commend the Netherlands, I mean, for joining hands with Italy on this project. I mean, this is also some ideas that are circulating in Europe is for countries to work together on specific projects. So I think that also the idea that different European Union countries and partners can share, can work together is a beautiful idea. I think that this is also one of the virtues of our European Union. I think that the other things that we need to discuss and today is also how best to profit from these experiments, from this test. I think that, I mean, these initiatives from the IOM, there are also others in other countries, which I'm following closely, are experiments that also can be replicated, can be extended, can be put in place in other countries. So, I mean, we are looking forward very much to understand the outcome of these projects, these initiatives, the concrete results of these activities, and also in order also for us to plan ahead, to think about possible initiatives in Italy. Is exactly this year we will discuss several projects on integration and migration. There will be a new strategic plan to be developed in Italy for the next 7 years. So it's also the opportunity to know about this project, the outcome of this project will help us also to calibrate and to find a better solution also at the level of our national policy. Finally, I would like to thank the organizer of this meeting for inviting me. Also, I'd like to thank also the participants. I saw that there are already more than 60 people in the list. So it means that really it's an interesting topic for many people in Nigeria and also in Europe. I wish you a very fruitful and successful day of work. I think that it will be a very long day of presentation from different participants in different sectors, and up to 4 p.m. And I hope that at the end of this day, the meeting will create more and more opportunities for all people from Nigeria and from Europe. Thank you very much, and all the best for you and for your day of work. Thank you very much.
Councillor Mengoni, thank you so much for those words as well. And thank you also really for highlighting and bringing the focus onto Nigerian talent as well, and also on Nigerian, and you mentioned Senegalese diaspora in Italy as well, who form a part or who can play a role in this process of labor mobility. So moving on, we have two speakers who are appearing by video or who have sent us pre-recorded videos. The first one is from the Chief of Mission, Franz Celestin. So this is the Chief of Mission for IOM Nigeria.
Thank you for joining the virtual scoping mission to Nigeria. On behalf of the Match Project, we welcome you and trust that you will use this opportunity to explore how Nigeria offers solutions to your business and recruitment needs. You join a growing number of foreign investors, business developers, governments, and entrepreneurs who recognize the potential of Nigeria's vast resources, just like Microsoft, KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Google, and Olam Group have done before you. Companies are benefiting from Nigeria's vast, growing, and exciting business climate. Not to mention the millions of highly skilled and talented job seekers that offer sustainable solutions to Europe's skills shortage. Please use this opportunity during our virtual scoping mission to explore solutions that fit your company's specific needs. Use the private networking functions, reach out to job seekers during your ICT pitch event, ask practical questions during our workshop on navigating Nigerian business climate. And as always, IOM and your partners remain available to support you. Enjoy the event, and we look forward to seeing you in some of today's sessions. Thank you.
Great. And then finally, but not the least, we have another pre-recorded welcome remark and words from the board member of She Leads Africa, Efwa Osei.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to join you today at the virtual scoping mission to Nigeria. My name is Efwa Osei. I am an entrepreneur, strategy consultant, and co-founder of She Leads Africa, one of the leading media and professional development organizations for young African women. Nearly 10 years ago, I first came to Lagos, Nigeria to understand the opportunity and the momentum happening in the country's tech sector. Since then, I had the opportunity to serve as a strategy consultant, working all across the continent, advising private equity companies, governments, as well as big businesses who wanted to invest in Africa. While I was working with these big companies, I said, there's so much support that's happening for these big businesses, but what about the small entrepreneur who has great ideas that's just trying to figure it out? Whenever I would go to networking events or to investment events, I would never see any young women on stage. And I knew that they were there. I knew that they had the ideas, the potential, and the grit to be able to grow and scale a business, but they did not have the platform. In 2014, we launched the first ever pitch competition focused on high growth African women. Within 6 weeks, we had more than 400 applications from 20 plus countries. From there, we were able to grow and scale this community to reach more than 1 million young women, hosting events and educational opportunities across 10 countries on 3 continents, and working with leading multinationals such as Google, Facebook, Intel, Samsung, Netflix, Visa, and Huawei, amongst many others. As both an entrepreneur and an employer, I understand the challenges that come with identifying talent, of figuring out how to navigate this space. So I wanted to share a little bit about our journey and how we made it work. First and foremost, cultivating the right relationships is so important. Finding the right talent is going to come from talking to people, by letting people know who you're looking for, and trusting local experts on the ground to advise you and guide you. For us, that was cultivating relationships with universities as well as workforce development programs. I think it's really important to understand that when you're first starting out, you may not be able to fully manage that recruitment process in-house. There are a multitude of training, recruitment, talent development platforms that are on the ground, and those should not only be sources of talent for a pipeline, but actually local advisors that you work with closely to advise and guide you on how do you navigate this space. Trust the local experts and cultivate the right relationships. Second, you want to create a locally relevant evaluation and training process. What you're doing now in Europe is unlikely to be effective when you're in Nigeria or West Africa. The education system is different. The job application and hiring process is different. So you may realize that the same qualifications don't translate when you're hiring people here in this market. So I would encourage you to work with local experts to say, how can we restructure our hiring process that allows us to really understand beyond paper who people are? Because you'll quickly realize that everything you see on paper may not align with what you're looking for. So you may need a process that's much more in tune and tailored to the local experience. The next piece of advice that I'd give is that training and investing in growth and development is so critical. And we've seen a variety of positive returns when we said, you know what, let's not go in here with expectations. Let's make sure that all of our team members are at a solid baseline. Let's invest in their growth as employees. Let's invest in their growth as positive citizens to the community. Let's really understand their needs and see how we can jump in there. It's going to be very different because you probably don't need to do something like that in your home market, and you can get workers who are maybe more ready to go. But unfortunately, due to a variety of challenges, you may not find that. But that doesn't mean that people aren't skilled. It doesn't mean that they aren't talented, and it doesn't mean that they aren't passionate. But they may just need a different type of process and more investment in growth and talent development to get them there. I'm so honored to be able to own a business in Nigeria, to be able to support the local development, and to produce a really solid service for our customers and for our clients. We receive incredible feedback when people are saying, wow, we didn't know that you could build a business like this. We didn't know that you could run a company like this. We didn't know that you could produce this kind of incredible impact in the community like this. So there's opportunities for you to come in and have that same type of impact in these markets. Some closing thoughts that I want to leave with you is that first and foremost, the opportunity is now for you to invest, for you to grow. Your local talent is going to reveal to you and show you so many opportunities. The data is great, the reports are great, things you've seen on the news are great, but when you get on the ground, when you're speaking to people here, when you're understanding what your local talent cares about, you're going to see the immense opportunities. And when you trust them and when you invest in them, they're going to invest in building your business. They're going to invest in making sure that you have the right returns, and it's going to be a really positive, symbiotic relationship, because as you grow, they will grow as well. My second parting piece of advice that I'd share is you want to empower your local leaders. Create a pathway for growth and development. Let people see that this isn't just a short-term opportunity, that as they invest and trust in you, that you're going to do the same. And I assure you that as you do that, you will see incredible returns and incredible impact that you're not able to have in other markets. I want to say thank you again for the opportunity to connect with you. I wish you the best of luck as you explore opportunities all across Nigeria, West Africa, and the entire continent. And I want you to know that the investments that you're making, the people that you're believing in, the lives that you're going to change are going to have a generational impact. And people will look to you and they'll say, because that person gave me a chance, because that company came in and invested, I was able to change the direction of my life and my entire community. So I'm excited to welcome you here to the local market and for the impact that you're going to have moving forward. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the summit.
That was wonderful. That was from Ifawase at She Leads Africa. And I think that was a great inspirational note as well, really, to end this morning's session on. I think, and I'm hoping that those of you listening within the audience are all very inspired by, of course, the welcoming remarks from Your Excellency, from Councillor Mengoni, from Mr. Michel Dillon, and then also, of course, we heard from Mr. Franz Celestin as well. And I hope that everyone is quite keen to engage. I've already seen a number of comments already in the chat box, and some networking already starting as we speak. So I'm also very excited to see how the rest of the day also pans out. But at this point, I would just like to say a big thank you to all our speakers. I've gone through the names already, but Your Excellency, thank you very much for your warm words to start with today. Mr. Dillon, thanks also for bringing the insights from a Dutch business perspective as well, in terms of the support that the government also provides. And Councillor Mengoni, also thank you also for the focus as well on talent. And of course to IOM and NABC for putting this on as well, and Unioncamere Piemonte and Ifawase as well, who I think also really did focus on talent. And actually I wanted to mention as well that there is a session this afternoon which is focusing on talent. It's a spotlight on talent. So please do make sure that you go through the program and check when the sessions are taking place and participate in the sessions, and enjoy the day.